But how come then the name for the band? Why?
Well,
Because
mostly I liked the way it sounded, and it sounded like the name of a place, but it didn't seem to be very easy to identify exactly where the place might be. And then I found out later, much to my surprise, that the guy who Brazzaville was named after, Brazza was his name, was an amazing human being that in the colonial era, around the turn of the last century, he was this businessman who went to Africa, who dressed like an African much of the time, who was very, very kind and friendly to the local people, never traveled with an army, and was considered to be the greatest and most just governor in all of Africa. And even now in Congo, in Brazzaville, they erected a statue in his honor. This is a white colonial governor. It's sort of unheard of, you know, except in the case of Brazza.
And when did he, well, live? When did he...
Around the turn of the last century,
early
1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s.
I think Congo used to be a Belgian colony.
Well, there was Belgian Congo and French Congo.
Okay, so this is French Congo.
French Congo, yeah.
Okay.
And he, oh God, what was I going to say? There was one other interesting thing about Brazza. Oh well, I'll think of it. I've already forgotten.
We'll see. Well,
like a goldfish.
Okay. Yeah, I think a goldfish has a 3-second memory span.
Maybe it's more than mine then.
Okay. Well, what is so nice about the East LA Breeze?
The album.
No, just the LA Breeze.
Ah, ooh, yeah, okay. Well, it smells like the desert. It smells like sagebrush, and it has an inherent melancholy quality, because often, once the heat has already begun to go away, seasonally in the fall, the Santa Ana winds will come from the east and from the desert and blow over the city, and suddenly it'll get really warm and dry again, and it'll smell like the desert. And for people like me who were born and raised in Los Angeles, it's a very evocative smell, I think. You know, it's kind of like when you see a coyote, there's something very sort of sacred about coyotes. They live up in the hills, and, you know, yeah, I grew up smelling that wind, and I'll always love it.
Have you ever smelled it somewhere else? Or?
No, it's very specific. It's a very specific smell.
Okay. Well, let me see. Well, I had written out some lines from your songs, but I don't think we have the time now.
No, go ahead. It's okay. They can check some of the other band members.
Okay. Yeah. Then one thing I think I read somewhere that your saxophone was broken while traveling, and that made you decide to pick up the guitar more often, or?
No, what happened was when we moved to Barcelona, it was resoundingly destroyed, I would say, more than just broken. It was like run over by a truck is the only thing I can think of that would have done that amount of damage. And I think in some ways it was, I interpreted it as a kind of a clean break, you know, like, okay, that was then, and now I'll just put it away, you know. I still have it, it's broken, but...
But were you longing for that break, maybe?
I was probably neglecting it a lot, and consequently it, you know, may have been taken from me, but I still have it. It might be fixable. Sometimes I feel like playing the sax again, and I don't have one right now.